Good to see everybody out at practice today. Beautiful day for it, for sure. Just finished our first week of OTAs. Certainly, I'm pleased with the progress of the entire group. Guys have been really working hard, investing, in our units, in our football team, and growing individually during this time. And then it's starting to, really improve. And that's the biggest thing that we want to see during this time. So, and really what we're doing during this time is working on our core principles. So we're getting the core principles down. We've had 3 practices on the grass there together. Certainly limited in terms of what we can do with the speed and the hitting and all that thing. You can't do here during this time, but really excited about that. Working on those core things. And it's not perfect right now by any stretch of the imagination, and that is. Defense, offense, special teams, everything's work in progress, and that's where it's at. But it's certainly making progress. What I'm most excited about is the connection between the players. That's really been great during this springtime leading into the summer, and it's been authentic, and we're certainly excited about that. And we want to build this team from the inside out. I'm not talking about the individual person, from the inside out to the next guy. And I think that's so important to be able to build a strong team. The good teams I've been on all have that. That's important for us. Great turnout. It's really been a great turnout the entire offseason. There's certainly guys that aren't here at times, but everybody's been here, and that's been great. And some are for various reasons, personal reasons. Going to graduations, birthday parties, whatever that might be. And again, this is optional for those guys, and excellent job by those guys. And I want to commend everybody that's here. Getting coached, wanting to get coached, and getting better and improving. So that's been really good. Injury update, really the only one I have is Rome. Rome's starting to work out there. You guys saw that. I did some walkthroughs today. We're hopeful that he'll be starting to ramp back in there next week during the OTAs that we have next week. And with that, I'll open up to questions.
When you said everybody's been here, do you mean everybody's been here during the week of OTAs?
Yeah, everybody's been here at some point during the off season. So it's been really good. And again, we don't take attendance and all that, but it's been great. The turnout's been great.
This week or the off season in general?
Just off season in general.
When it comes to Caleb and watching him grow, how do you, in your seat, kind of properly contextualize and monitor both his growth and his inevitable struggles as he goes through the early spring and summer?
Yeah, we're doing that with all players, but specifically with Caleb, it's really just about when he, can rip the call, get the call in and out of the huddle, break in the huddle, having that pace that we need to have. And we've been doing, of course, the walkthroughs, and he's been really good with that. And this is the first time going against, a pro defense, and a pretty good one. So it's going to be a learning for everybody. And they're getting everything together, and it was progress. I saw progress from the first day to the second to the third. So it's been good.
But you do see a difference in difficulty for him, for Caleb, going up against, as you said, a pro defense. It's
Yeah, I see progress. I see progress for sure, and that's going to continue to be that way. He's been in early, stays late, asking questions at night. He's got his iPad at night, in the hotel, and been working his tail off.
When you say you see progress, in what regard?
Just understanding the offense, understanding the concepts, understanding coverages, understanding where to go with the ball. He's been great that way.
It seemed like there was red zone was frustrating for the offense today. How do you help manage kind of the ups and downs of? I'm sure he wants to do well today, but you're not playing games today.
Yeah, it's that's a good question. I saw a lot of things out there that need to improve on defense, and on offense, and certainly we got to improve in that area. That's going to be a big part for our success is the red zone. I talked to the guys about that attention to detail down there, and that's going to be ongoing.
And when you talk about the connections the players have, I know you're big on that, like a lot of coaches, but is that any different than any other year? It seems like that's always the thing. Is there something, obviously you got Caleb, I imagine there's an effect there, but
yeah.
Is this connection any different or mean anything more than what you always say, what coaches seem to say every year?
Yeah, I would say it is different. We have a good mix of guys. We've been doing some different unique things. Having guys different spots outside of football, just obviously voluntary, but getting together that way, and that's been really good. and you can feel that it's authentic. And we've had our skull sessions, which we had in the past. We've mixed the teams, 4 or 5 times, in terms of small groups and talking about, our path to the Bears and some of the things that we've had, hardships in our lives and how we got through that. And, and talking about different topics like that. So I always think that's good.
And to that end, is Caleb's personality, which is obviously pretty strong, has that had an effect? Do you notice that? I mean, do offense, defense, whatever, is there an effect there, or is he still like the new guy who's just?
Yeah, I think is the effect of that, of getting that authenticity in terms of the connection, is that there is, at the end of the day, we're all Chicago Bears. So it's not about being offense, defense, I play linebacker, you play quarterback, or, O-line, versus a secondary guy. That doesn't matter to us. We're just all the Chicago Bears, and we got to be tight that way, because that's going to be the glue that keeps us together.
Matt, is there more of an onus on older players like DJ, Keenan, some of those older receivers in what their role is to get Caleb comfortable in this offense and to help him get up to speed?
Yeah, it's really, we use the veterans in all positions, so certainly, your comment, we're going to use all the veterans to help all the young guys. Even like you with DJ and Keenan, he's going to help Rome, and they're also going to help the quarterback. And also you have Cole, who's got great experience. Everybody on the offense that has experience, we're going to lean on those guys. And the same thing on defense. When we brought, Tyreek in, last year, we leaned on, Jalen, we leaned on Tremaine and TJ and all the guys there. So that to me is you can learn a lot from the guys that have been successful in this league, and we certainly do that with every position.
Matt, from the perspective of a defensive coach, the 3 receivers you have, a DJ, Keenan, Rome at the top. What kind of a challenge is that going to be for opposing defensive coordinators and opposing defenses?
Yeah, and then you add our tight ends in there too, and then the backs. So typically when you have one player in situational football, and even on first down based on formation, you certainly can tilt your coverage to that player to eliminate that player the best way you can. And when you have other guys that are on the opposite side of that, for example, if you had 3 receivers on one side and Cole on the other side, and you want to tilt the coverage over there, well, you still have Cole one-on-one backside. And that's for all of our players. That's what weapons does for you offensively. It really balances out the defense. It makes them play true and honest rather than tilting the field one way or the other to a star player.
Coach, there's obviously an influx of talent on offense, but it's still going to take them some time to gel. If that happens to go into the season, will it become incumbent upon the defense to kind of carry the load early, and are you confident that they can if need be? Yeah,
our defense played well down the stretch. We all know that, and we anticipate them coming off to a fast start. And we certainly wanted to have that, and the guys are excited about putting the work in to get that done. Nothing's guaranteed in this league, and you got to put the work in. Success travels through the company of very hard work, and we have to get that done.
When it comes to establishing your core principles, it seems like DJ does embody that a lot. You just mentioned hard work. He's dedicated. He's here. What kind of an example and leader is that for some of these young guys on offense coming in?
Yeah, our best players got to be our hardest workers, and they got to be our best finishers, and they got to be available to practice out there. And DJ certainly is that. He's as tough as they come, and he is a great teammate, and he is our hardest worker and one of our most talented guys. And that's the example that all the young guys follow because, number one, the talent, but then they see the work ethic. And that's what I always tell, even like, Keenan, DJ, Tremaine, Tez, all the guys that are really good players in this league, they have to be our hardest workers. And they got to be the guys that are the example.
Matt, just expanding on your answer to Herb's question, when you look at your secondary on the field now, how do you describe kind of the on-field cohesion that group has in May that can kind of propel you forward?
Yeah, and that's really a function of part of a function of us playing the young guys, rookies, fast, and then putting them in there and playing them right away, like Kyler, like Brisker. I think the addition of KB is really good, a great communicator, moves really well. And then you have 2 corners on the outside. You got Johnson, who's done an outstanding job last year, obviously, and then Tyreek. Really, my hat's off to all the veterans for helping him out and bringing him along. And he had a really good year last year, and we expect more of him this year. And then Smitty. Smitty's done a good job of stepping in there when those guys have soft tissue or in a rotation, and he's going to be competing for some of that time too.
Now, what have you learned about Caleb's ability? You said he's progressing day by day. What have you learned about his ability to learn and to put stuff into action from one day to the next? And what does that?
Been very impressive. It's been very impressive. Yep. His ability to chunk information, put it into buckets, and operate. And we're not holding back. We're giving him a lot of information. We're giving him the offense, and we want to be able to go through the whole offense before the offseason gets done, and primarily most of it, and then working into the summer. We'll have a plan for him there, and then work him in training camp, and then go from there.
Is that unusual to give a rookie the whole offense before?
Well, I mean, we're gonna hold back a little bit for sure, because we're not game planning for anybody right now. So we certainly are gonna give them all the concepts for sure.
You and Ryan have talked about Ryan Griffin being here, being part of that quarterback room. I know it looks like he's still playing in
Yeah.
Italy right now. Are you anticipating he'll be here soon?
Yeah, we anticipate him being here, mandatory minicamp. Yep.
And-
Yeah, so I don't know what his record is. I don't have any idea. I have to call him and ask.
And not too many years ago, almost everybody would be out there, even in OTAs. And now it seems to have relaxed a little more. Are times just different now? Are priorities different? And how does that affect you as a coach, no longer having like 99 out of 100 guys that there anymore?
Yeah, but we do have that. We do. We have that. We have great attendance, really good attendance. We only have a couple guys that haven't been here or weren't here today, and it's been really good for us. I would put our attendance against anybody in the NFL.
Coach, it looks like you all are counting on Javon to play a critical role in the middle of your defense right now. Coming out of last season and coming into this
You
offseason.
said Javon?
Yes.
Okay.
What were you expecting him to improve on in terms of his time away, doing his own work, and then when he showed back up, did you see that growth in those areas?
Yeah, I noticed the body composition first. It was really good. He changed his body in the time he was off, so he's much leaner now and he's quicker. That he really looks good in terms of his get off. That was one thing he had to work on. Then pad level, because he's such a big guy, tall guy, and he's worked on those things. But his movement, his athletic ability is even better now because of he really worked at his body. Okay.